If only, Father, one word. People are struggling to stand on their feet. Then there's no need to pray another prayer. You will kill them. When you have not eaten food for 9 days and 9 nights, you don't pray long prayer. Father. So I have to wait for him to come from the land of the spirits. And when he came back, he said he had never experienced that before. That he has given us what God said he should give us. That's the cost of 2 brand new cars, 5,000 and 5,000. But from the joy of his heart, he's adding another 5,000. And then I escorted him to his car. And as he was about to enter, he came back out and said, the Lord also said, I should buy you your own car. What brand of car do you need? And I told him. And I came back to my house and I told my wife, and praise and worship. After the praise and worship, my wife asked and said, I think this prayer is now over. I said, Madam, if only 9 days prayer can bring the cost of cash for 3 brand new cars plus a physical car, 30 days will give us 9 cars plus 3 physical cars with change. So let's continue the prayer. Only this time we'll be fasting like my father Omar by 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Those are the 2 men that schooled me. E.A.E. Omar and Papa Omar. It's Papa Omar who taught me to give God the tithes of my time every day in his presence. 2 hours, 40 minutes. Just round it up at 3 hours every day where you separate from men. That if you can give God the tithe of your time, God will give you his time. His time is the eternal realm. That's when you now start to have heaven encounters, God encounters, angelic encounters. My father, Papa Omar, gives God double tithes. That's 6 hours every day. He wakes up by 5 a.m. and doesn't come out till 11 a.m. to say good morning to anybody. I visited Omar 2 years ago. Omar asked me, Theo, are you still fasting and praying? That I, your father, I am 80 years of age. I fast 240 days every year. Any day I stop, the power in my life will stop. Sir, God doesn't have any free power for any human being. If you cannot tarry and pay the price, God doesn't dash power to anyone. Selah. So we continued the fast, and I told my wife we'll be on from 6 to 6. We wake up 6 a.m. and pray 6 hours to 12 noon, then we can eat as we like. My wife said it is good. We continue the prayer. On the 18th day of the prayer, I live by the Calabar River. My father's house, that's my compound where I stay. It was the former headquarters of Ogboni. My father was the former national president of Ogboni. I have many things to tell you people. That's where I wrote a book, Witches in the Church. I wrote another book, Foundational Deliverance. My own area of handling deliverance is not from reading book. I had to pass through it. I know what it means to do deliverance because the first person I have to deliver is myself. That's why I don't like people going for deliverance. If you can't deliver yourself, you will remain in bondage for the rest of your life. Learn to deliver yourself. Then you have power to deliver. Let me leave that thing. On the 18th day, a ship, tanker ship. These tanker ships are about 10 times the size of this house. They are gigantic things. Parked in the frontage of our house on the Calabar River. And the whole night, lorry tankers were driving into our compound, offloading from the tanker ship to the lorry tankers. In the morning, we didn't know what was going on. Me and my wife were sleeping like babies. In the morning, there was a knock on the door. The captain of the ship tanker said, I hear you are a pastor and you are the owner of this property. Calabar depot is closed, where we're supposed to offload this ship tanker. So we offloaded in your house the whole night. Because you're a man of God, I will not cheat you. What we're supposed to pay at the depot, I have brought it in Ghana must go to give to you. That was, if the other guy dropped 15,000, this was hundreds of thousands. This is in Naira, in millions and millions of today's money. And handed over to me. And I called my wife and showed my wife, and praise and worship part 2. And my wife said, I think this prayer is now over. I said, me, I will die with this prayer. The reason why you are going around like a refugee from Afghanistan, disturbing people for money, is because you don't know how to tarry until you were not schooled well. The Christianity you came into was a Christianity that you never met Papa Omo, who called you. So your own Christianity you don't know how to withstand pressure. Any small thing, you go around disturbing people up and down. So you have to tarry until. The first church I pastored in Calabar was a Tinian Abasi. By that time, I just came from London to Nigeria. I spent all my first years in United Kingdom. It was actually my first 20 years of my life I spent in UK. And at the age of 20, God called me and said, leave your motherland, come to your fatherland for the healing and deliverance of your people. That was how I left London and came to Calabar, Nigeria. I've never been to Nigeria before. I don't know the culture, I don't know the food. I've never eaten gari before, not to talk of draw soup. And in obedience, I sold all the properties I had in the UK. I had my own house duplex. I had my own car, Triumph Herald 250. I had a Kawasaki motorcycle. I had a 10-gear racer bicycle. I sold everything and came to a place I don't know in obedience. When I came, I said, let me go and study law, because my father was the leading lawyer in the whole of the southeast of Nigeria. He was the man who wrote the Constitution of Nigeria with Rotimi Williams. So he had the largest law chambers in Calabar, and I wanted to take over his law chamber. So I went to University of Calabar to study law. And God said, I didn't call you to be a lawyer. I called you to be a deliverer. go to Assemblies of God Bible College, Uyo. I don't argue. The next day I've left law and went to Bible college. And that was when they sent me to my first assignment as an assistant pastor of a church of 800 under the Reverend F.C.M. Ogbuji. And Papa Ogbuji said to me, Theo, I am doing my master's degree in Umoya. I will not be coming back to Calabar until month ending for account. You are the one to handle the church. All the Sunday service, you are the one to preach. All the Bible class is in your hand. All the preparatory class, Sunday school, inquirers for new beginners, you are in charge. Who am I? Johnny just come. Only born again few years. Just landing in a strange land. That time, you will not hear me talking. If I talk that time, I speak through my nose, you know. I speak like a proper Englishman, you know. So as I was pastoring that church, within 3 months, a church of 800 reduced to 700, reduced to 600, reduced to 500. And the senior pastor called for a round table discussion as to why is this church scattering. Everybody should open up their heart and speak the truth. The first person to raise the hand was the choir mistress. Say, Reverend, we will not hide it from you. The reason this church is scattering, this small boy you sent to us, he's an empty container. He's a square peg in a round hole. We don't even understand him. You should carry him anywhere and throw him. Give us somebody that can fit us. Do you know what it means to have sold all your property in UK? Turn your back on everything to come to the people that God says I have called you to, and they reject you. The next person who raised his hand, he said, what Madame is saying is not even half of the story. It's bad. My senior pastor stood up and closed the meeting. The worst was, on that day, my mother visited me from London. She was sitting on the front row crying tears for her son that was rejected. I ran to my small room. That time I was living in one room, 10 by 10. I have no chair, no bed, no mattress, no nothing. I have no wall clock. I have no fan. And I threw myself on the floor and began to cry like a baby. Father, you say I should leave United Kingdom and come for my people. The people you sent me have, I wept uncontrollably with tears and catarrh coming from my nose until I couldn't weep any longer. Then I heard a voice. The voice of the Lord said, son, listen to them, they are correct. You are an empty container. You have nothing for your generation. That's why I brought you here. I disconnected you to connect you to me. So now go and tarry. Go and lock yourself for the next 40 days. Do not come out to look at any man's face. Sorry, 30 days. The only time you're allowed to come out from your house is if your senior pastor calls you. You attend to him, come back. Forget about food for the next 30 days. But if you like, you can eat one meal late in the night. Make sure you read minimum of 20 to 30 to 40 chapters of my word every day of these 40 days, 30 days. Seek my face and cry to me for help. That's how I pray though. I cry for 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, my senior pastor called me again and said, Theo, come and preach. I said, Daddy, I beg, no be me. Those people, they don't like me. You preach, let me kneel down, I will pray for you. He said, no, I like you, come and preach. Hey. I struggle and prepare message. I started to preach. I've not entered up to 10 minutes. I saw people everywhere doing like this. When only 10 minutes preaching, half of your congregation are sleeping. There's no need to go to point number 3, point number 4. You will kill everyone. I concluded the message and handed over to my senior pastor and ran back to my small room and threw myself and said, God, you said I should tarry until I've been here tarrying for 30 days and it's getting worse.